here. So what are your top 5 storylines focused on the first half of the Major League Baseball season?
All right, so I'm going to go from 5 to 1 here. At number 5, I have how does Tony Larussa mesh with the Chicago White Sox? That was a hire that I scratched my head on as soon as it happened. I don't understand the hiring of Tony Larussa for this young team. You've got a very young, flamboyant team in the Chicago White Sox who are very talented and very good. But you've also got Tony Larussa, who is an old-school manager. You've got Tony Larussa, who is, notorious for being what you want to call a hard ass.
Yeah.
So, he is not the type of manager that I saw. That music got really loud in my ears all of a sudden.
My bad.
No, you're good. But no, Larussa is, he's the one to look out for. I think this is a big storyline to take a look to see how the White Sox play under Tony Larussa in the first half. If it's not a problem and if they're playing good baseball, I know it's going to be a little bit different with the loss of Eloy Jimenez. That's a huge loss for the Chicago White Sox. But this is a storyline to watch for the first half, because if they have a really bad first half, I don't know what they're going to do, because Tony Larussa, he can lose the room really quick if they're not performing well.
Yeah, and that is the main reason why Hoffy did not have them winning the division, was because that hire of Tony Larussa, if I'm not mistaken. He definitely hammered that point on when we had him on earlier in the week, was that hire. So what is your headline number 4 to look at for the first half of the Major League Baseball season?
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim is their pitching. How is their pitching holding up? Can they keep Shohei Ohtani healthy? That's
a big if.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, Tim?
And so it's just keep an eye on that pitching staff, see how that pitching staff is holding up, because the offense, I think, will be just fine. It's going to depend on their pitching as to whether or not they can help them through any lulls that they do have in the offense. So that's my storyline number 4.
So let me ask you this question. Do the Angels have to have a above 500 first half of the season to have any opportunity to compete in the second half of this season?
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it just depends on how the rest of the division plays. Look, the A's are that team, and I talk about it all the time. They always sneak up and win 90 games on you. The Houston Astros, I don't believe that they are a very scary team. The Texas Rangers are going to be a really bad team.
They lost to the Royals today.
So it's really about what the Angels pitching can do, and if they do struggle somewhat down the stretch, this is a division you could still possibly have a chance in. It is going to be, I believe, it's going to be a 2-team race between the Angels and the A's. So it's not something that that you can't recover from. But that pitching is going to have to hold up in order for them to have a chance.
Yeah, so Combs is big on pitching here in the 2021 season. So, yeah, pitching is a must for the Angels there. So, topic number 3.
Yeah, topic number 3, NL Central. Can anyone pull away in the NL Central? This is a division that I think can be won by the All-Star break. But it could also be one of those divisions where it is just played down to the wire because nobody can pull away. The Cubs, came out today. If they're hitting like they've been hitting over the last 2 seasons, and all signs today pointed to yes, then it's going to be a long season for the Chicago Cubs. If the Milwaukee Brewers play like they played today, and if their pitching is better than people think that it is, like Torrey Anderson has said that it is, the Milwaukee Brewers could run away with this division by the All-Star break. So that's what I'm looking out for there in the NL Central.
So you were pretty high on the Cubs pitching, like pretty much all off season, and then then Kyle Hendricks lasted 3 innings just tonight. Hopefully that is not a trend for your Cubs, just because I'm passively rooting for the Cubs now. So hopefully they can get their pitching in order. I mean, just like everything that you alluded to pre-show was it was cold, right? It was cold. It was. But on the flip side of that, it's cold in October, right, Combs? So come on, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's different in October than it is in April. You know what I mean?
True.
Like it's a very different cold. It's wet. It's rainy. It coming off the lake when that wind is whipping at the way it was whipping today, and the wind chill is below freezing. It's a very different environment at Wrigley.
All right, so Major League Baseball headlines number 2 for the first half of the season. Well, what do you got?
Can the Nationals stay healthy?
No.
They've got a lot of question marks. John Lester's a big question mark. He's shown over the last 2 years that when he gets hit hard, he gets hit hard. And then you've got Steven Strasburg, who just can never seem to stay healthy. You've also got they picked up Kyle Schwarber, who just can't seem to stay healthy. You got Juan Soto, who's already hurting, heading out of spring training. So for the Nationals to compete in this division, which I think is going to be a very good and very competitive division, as we'll talk about later with Hoffy as we go through our predictions, this Nationals team needs to stay healthy if they're going to stay in this race.
Yeah, I mean, like, listening to Hoffy and then listening to you for this last week here, I've been doing my own research on the backside of things, and the Nationals, if they lose 2 or 3 stars on the 15 DL, they are going to not be in the playoffs. Like, they can't afford one injury, like one 15-day injury.
They're not very deep.
Yeah.
They're not very deep.
So, MLB headlines number 1, heading into the first half of the Major League Baseball season. What do you got?
Will the Dodgers be able to avoid the World Series hangover? Every team seems to have a hangover after they come off of winning a World Series. And not only that, but they have a team in their division in the San Diego Padres that got heads and tails better than what they were last year. And they were very good last year. So you've got a very good team that got better while you kind of basically stood packed. Yes, I know you went out and you signed Buck and Wyatt will sit there and call the greatest pitcher of all time just to get under my skin.
No,
Trevor Bauer.
Cy Young winner. Put respect on his name.
Yeah, this team is not. I don't like the Trevor Bauer signing. I think he's going to have a bad year. I don't like David Price taking off of a year because he looked really old in spring training. And so I don't think that the Dodgers can avoid the World Series hangover. I do still believe that they're going to win, upwards of 90-plus games. So there's a spoiler alert for our predictions later. But are they going to be able to avoid the World Series hangover and still be dominant in the National League?
So over here on the chat line, Tim says no, they will not be able to avoid the World Series hangover.
So. I don't disagree. I believe the same thing. He says Bauer was overpaid. I agree with that as well, Timothy. I believe, Trevor Bauer, not only was he overpaid, but he's overhyped. This is a guy who in 9 seasons in the league has only had an ERA under 4 twice, and one of those times was a 60-game season.
But did he win a Cy Young or no? I'm asking for a friend.
Yes, he won the Cy Young last year in the 60-game season.
So he was the best. So he was the best pitcher in the league.
He was the best pitcher in a short season when he didn't have to go a full season. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So one thing over here in.
What is going on? It's your boy Brandon Combs from the Man Hour. If you have not downloaded Thrive Fantasy yet, I am not sure what you're waiting for. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store by visiting their website, www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and prop up today. Use promo code MANHOUR when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant match bonus up to $50 on your first deposit of $20 or more. That's promo code MANHOUR, thrivefantasy.com.